Hi everyone, this is Prashant, and today we are going to discuss about how are we going to calculate the factorial for a positive integer number. So the language that we are going to use for this is C language, and how are we going to do it is by writing a program in which we are going to ask the user to provide us the positive integer, and that integer is used for the sake of calculation of this factorial of that number. Once the factorial is generated, then that number has to be given back on the screen to show it on the console. So let's see how are we going to write the same program in C language. The very first thing is to find out what headers that we need to use. Since there is very less amount of calculation and there is a requirement to do the input to be taken from the keyboard, and there is an input, there is an output that has to be shown on the screen. So for that sake, we might require only very basic header file that needs to be included into the C program, which is stdio, standard input output. So it's going to be hash include stdio.h. .h stands for header file, and then our main program starts. Since we are going to write this for the sake of factorial for a particular number, let's ask that number from the user itself, and for that let's print a line on the screen so that user can understand what we are asking. Please enter a number. For that we can use printf statement, printf, and then please enter a number. Because we need to grasp it from the keyboard, we need to make use of this scanf statement. The immediate next statement would be the scanf statement, and we need to grab it. But for grabbing it, we need to store it somewhere else in a temporary variable. So for that, you need to declare that variable first. Let's say integer n, int n, okay? And we are storing that value that we got it from the scanf statement into this n variable, okay? Since we have it, now what we need to do is we need to do a small verification whether it is a positive integer number or not. For that, we can simply write one if condition if n is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, we can continue with our factorial. If it is not greater than 0, all we can do is providing a printf statement saying that this is not a positive integer number, please provide another number, and you can make use of it until they provide it positive number. You can write it do while or while based on it, okay? So it will run until the user provides a positive integer number. Once it is provided, then we will try to provide them a factorial. Now comes the else part. If it is greater than 0, then if it is greater than 0, that's where you're getting into the if part. If it is not greater than 0, it comes into the else. That's where we will say that please provide another number, and then we'll keep repeating the do while like that. Okay. So it is greater than 0. Now we are entering into the factorial generation. Factorial is nothing but if a number like 5 is given, for that until 5, right from the very positive number that is 1 till that particular number, whatever the numbers are present in a series, all has to be multiplied to provide the factorial, that bigger number. So since we have taken 5 as an example, so 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That's how we generate the factorial. So it's going to be 5 4 is 20, 23 is 60, 62 is 120, 120 into 1, 120. So it's going to be 120. 120 has to be the output that has to be generated when 5 is given as the number. Now, in order to repeat the loop until all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are completed, we need to make use of the for loop. So for loop, where the basic value is 1, I is equal to 1, and it shouldn't cross the number that was given, which is 5. So I is less than or equal to 5, and then we have to keep incrementing it, I plus plus. Now the next thing that we need to do is we have to store the temporarily generated factorial number into some temporary variable. For that, let's create an integer called temp. Temp is equal to the I into temp. Temp, usually let's give the basic value as 1. So 1 into 5 will be the very first temp value. Now the loop increases, so it's going to be 2. I is equal to 2. So 1 into 2 is 2. 2 will be the factorial number temporarily. So temp value is equal to 2. Again the loop increases, so we will have I as the 3. So 2 into 3, 6. Now the temporarily provided factorial number will be 6. The loop will again increases, 4. 6 4 ja 24. 24 will be the value of the temporary variable temp. Loop will again increase and it is 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5, which is true. So we'll get into the loop. So 5 into 24, which is 120. 120 will be the temporary temp variable value now. Now again the loop will increase. I is equal to 6, but 6 is less than or equal to 5? No, 6 is greater than 5. So for that reason, it will skip it. The moment that it skips, we will provide a printf statement saying that the factorial for this the given number, which is 5, is the temp variable and it has 120. So finally 120 will be the factorial. So this is going to be presented on the console and everyone will get to know that factorial value of 5 is 120. So this is how we are going to write the factorial program